Hello, Paul. This is a response to your video about corporal punishment. And first of all, I want to thank you for asking this question. This video response is via one of your subscribers, Elena43, and she compelled me to watch your video and to make a response. Um, in the video, you shared that the fact that 20 states in America still allow corporal punishment for both parents and schools. And I went and Googled that and found a map of the states that still allow it and the ones that don't. The red states are states that do allow it, and the blue states are states that do not allow corporal punishment anymore. So I want to go ahead and insert that image. That is unprotected photograph, and it's not an infringement upon anyone's copyright to republish that material. But I found it interesting, which states allowed corporal punishment and which ones didn't, and all the states in red seem to be very conservative, and the states in blue seem to be a little more liberal. And I find I found that interesting, first of all. So thank you for starting this conversation. Now, with what you shared, I saw a lot of myself and some of the things that you shared. I too feel worthlessness, and that's probably the biggest factor in my being held back in life. I too also have anger, and although I'm not I'm not violent, I don't have a propensity for violence in any way. It does result in some impulse control, and how that shows up for me is in the form of an attraction to drama. I do try to eliminate as much drama in my life as I can, but I notice that it's still there, and it's something that I have to work at, and it's something that does impede me or even hold me back in life sometimes, is my natural reaction to to a situation. And although most of the time I correct that action before it has a significant impact on my life, it certainly slows me down quite a bit. So I have very strong emotions about corporal punishment, and I understand how scary the fact that this is still legal can be. And something that you kind of pointed out, and in not exact words, is what a vicious cycle violence or corporal punishment can be, and the impacts that it clearly has on our society. That that this is still an acceptable, legal way to behave in some places. Now, you raised the question: what is the justification for corporal punishment? And that was a little bit of a confusing question to me, because I see justification, or how I define justification, is an act or a process which validates someone's point of view or actions. Okay, and I understand contextually that's not what you were asking. What you were asking was, well, what I believe you were asking is, what makes people think that this is right. You know, and um, so that gets to the question of, what are the benefits? And I actually see one benefit to corporal punishment. Now, I want to make the distinction: corporal punishment um, administered by a parent, and not an institution of authority or education. Okay, um, and the reason why I say that is because in the relationship of parent and child, I do believe that forms of light um, physical punishment are completely acceptable to the age of about 5. Okay, when a child starts to you know, starts to create identity and starts to associate reason or reason or can start to construct, right and wrong as a theory, then at that point, um, you know, physical punishment isn't as necessary because you can instill value into your child without hitting them. But before that, children need to learn right and wrong. And corporal punishment is a very effective tool. Okay? When you can't reason with a child, you can show them a punishment, you can stop the behavior, and I do see it being beneficial then. Now, another way I see that it's beneficial is after that point where reason and logic start to enter the conversation of teaching a child something. Um, as far as girls go, or female, I think that the physical punishment should end completely. Now, I do see a different benefit for specifically boys or males. Anthropologically speaking, male dominance has always been a very significant um, part of life, whether it be animals or human beings. And I think that just can't disappear, from society, and that it is part of the game of life, understanding male dominance and pecking order. Okay, I do believe that if you understand the game, you can play it better. Whether you choose to play by the rules or not, you know, if you understand the game, you're at an advantage. And if you don't understand pecking order or male dominance, then, you know, you're at a disadvantage. So I do believe at certain times and in moderation that, physical violence or corporal punishment um, between father and son can be a very valuable lesson and necessary at times. Um, Now, as far as schools or institutions goes, that I firmly believe that there is no benefit, um, and that it should be outlawed in every single state. Um, and you know, um, it's sad that it hasn't been because you know, life and lessons are hard enough. Um, when you bring you know this corporal punishment to the table outside the loving intimate relationship of parent and child. uh, I think that a lot of children can grasp punishment and not make it mean too much about themselves in that private and intimate relationship of parent and child. But when you bring outsiders in, I think that makes it conceptually harder for someone to learn what's right and what's fair. And like you brought up, it opens up a lot of abuse or people hiding behind, hiding behind the laws. And clearly, in my own life and with other people, I do see people, you know, um, perpetrating violence and displacing their angers at other people on onto the innocent because it's easier. And if the law protects them, I think that, you know, yes, there is going to be huge negative, consequences of people misdirecting their anger or their resentment in the world. So really thank you for bringing up that point because it is very relevant and very valid. Should it be legal? Absolutely not. Outside the home, outside the confines of a family, then no, it should not be legal. There is no justification. There is no way to say that this is anything positive. and that it can give anything to a child other than the feeling of worthlessness, you know, the anger, rage. That's what we're teaching children by allowing corporal punishment, is that violence is all right, and that if you don't get what you want, then it's all right to smack someone around. And unfortunately, that is a reality that many people have to grow up in these days, and it's a very sad thing. So I thank you for raising this question and having people think about this, and I look forward to catching some of your other videos and really thinking about some of the material that you think is relevant. So thank you for sharing, and I hope you're having a great day or night, whatever it happens to be when you watch this, and I'll see you around the tubes. Alrighty, bye-bye.